back to another Just 5 Mins. Grab a coffee or a tea or whatever beverage you want. Get comfortable, not too comfortable. But anyway, what have we got today? We do have HTMX, and that is not a spelling mistake. It's HTML on steroids. I don't know how long this has been around. Actually, I should really have found that out for the details here. In fact, I've just noticed there is a history. But essentially, the idea, the concept is that you can get rid of a lot of JavaScript, not necessarily everything, although depending on the types of apps that you're building, you certainly probably could. Okay. So the idea is that HTML obviously has been around since forever. And if you think about it, when you do things like form posts or click a link for a URL, it's going to the server and doing things anyway. You just don't get a lot of control over them. Okay, so that's why you've got JavaScript and then the plethora of frameworks that are out there. But what HTMX is, it's been around for a little while by the looks of things, but what it's really trying to achieve is that it's a library, a very small library, by the way. We're talking like 16K or something silly like that. In fact, not, what am I talking about? 1.6K, I think. So it's basically a library that allows you to access modern browser features directly from HTML rather than using JavaScript. Okay, and what it essentially does, how it achieves that, it sprinkles in attributes to standard HTML. Yes, you include a script to the HTMX library, but that's it. There's no other dependencies. Okay, and then you've got these sprinklings of attributes that you can add to buttons or, well, any HTML. Okay, and the things that you can do is, instead of doing like a form post, you can actually have a button that calls a REST API to pull back a snippet of data. Whatever that data might be, it's predominantly probably going to be maybe HTML. So you can have your server-side rendering, getting islands of HTML that you can pull back on these different events. They've got a whole event system that they could do polling as well. There's even a client-side router called Boost that you can essentially get to a point where you've got a single page app or a spa. Okay, but the main thing is you can call all the HTTP verbs. So you can really get around a lot of that JavaScripty stuff. Whether it'll actually ever really get rid of JavaScript, I'll leave that to you. But certainly for a lot of applications, and certainly I was going to say basic apps, but even fairly full-on apps, you probably won't ever get rid of your Angulars, Reacts, and Views and things because of what that gives you. But if you need really just some nice, simple ways of interacting with HTML pages to pull back data, you could obviously generate data grids, everything with this. It's a really interesting eye-opener. HTMX, it's worth checking out. It really is. There's some interesting concepts if you go to their docs, which I'll of course include. And as usual, I feel like I'm plagiarizing Fireship again. I forgot his name, isn't it? Jeff. But it did come from one of his videos, which I will link to because that's what inspired putting this podcast together. And he's got obviously a little bit more of a visual way in 100 seconds to show you what it can do. But it really is definitely an interesting concept to get rid of JavaScript. And I'll leave you with it's a dodgy old 90s dance track, No Limit, what you could probably do with this. So there's the little tie into that. Look, what can I do? But until next time, take care, enjoy, and see what you can make of sorry, I was going to say DHTMLX because there was a library called that in JavaScript. But what you can make of HTMX is what I was trying to say. So until the next time, we will bid you adieu and take care. Bye bye.